Hello, everyone, and welcome to the April producer live stream.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back again. One more stream.
My name is Eric Musco. I'm the community manager, and I'm joined by...
I'm Ben Irving, the producer of Star Wars: The Old Republic.
I'm Charles Boyd, the creative lead for Star Wars: The Old Republic.
That's right. We decided to do, which, by the way, Charles and I were laughing at the way our names. It's Charles Ben Musco. We're actually one person. You can't see we're conjoined at the hip. You just can't see it underneath.
It's a pretty Star Warsy name.
It is. We felt that a lot.
Some apostrophes.
So for anyone who's the first time tuning into a producer live stream, the goal is to do around 30 minutes.
Yep.
It'll kind of be a status of the game right now. We'll talk about some issues in the community. We'll talk about what just came out today, what's coming out next month, and all the great stuff in and around that.
Yep.
Shall we get started?
Let's get
started. All right, Ben, I'm
started.
going to let you click and drive this bad boy through.
Oh, can't wait.
There you go.
All right, so Musco kind of covered this. Agenda for the day, talk through State of the Galaxy, a couple hot topics from the community through forums, and the rest of the interwebs. We'll do a recap of the launch of Chapter 12, Visions in the Dark. Give you guys an update on subscriber rewards for next month. We're going to get into the Eternal Championship and PTS, as well as announce the launch date for Eternal Championship, which is really exciting. Charles will talk us through Profit and Plunder, which is our Chapter 13, give you a sneak peek into that, and then we'll do the wrap-up. And actually, at the very end, we have a short cinematic from the next chapter that we're going to leave you guys with for today.
Right.
So something new that no one has seen before, which is really cool.
And no spoilers. So even if you haven't played through
spoilers.
12 yet, we're not going to ruin anything for you. Don't worry. All right.
Yeah, let's get into community topics. So, as you guys know, Eternal Championship went live on PTS. It took us a little longer than we had planned to get there.
Sure.
It's kind of the whole reason why we do this.
Right.
We had a bunch of problems, and the detail will just bore you, but things that weren't working, access to the wrong things, etc. It's now up there. People have been playing it, and we're going to dive into that later on.
Yep. So in-game chat and mail, one of the things that we've seen come up quite a bit on social media and the forums and Reddit is some of the spam that unfortunately happens when you're in-game, whether someone sends it to you through your mail or they're doing it in chat. I just wanted to talk a little bit about just a couple reminders to you guys. First off, we have a bunch of automated systems in place to try to catch that stuff, to avoid it from happening at all. Obviously, it can't catch everything. So the real thing that I want to say is if you guys are seeing that stuff, report it. If you see it in the mail, there's a report button at the top. If you see it in chat, right-click on the person and report that person. That helps us tremendously. So you guys are really our best weapon in combating a lot of that stuff by just helping us report those issues as you see them crop up. So we know that it exists and it's a pain, and we do everything we can to try to get rid of it without you ever seeing it. But some of it slips through, so just stay on top of reporting it, and it'll help us out a lot. Help us help you is what I'm saying.
We're going to get into Chapter 12 in a little bit, but obviously a big thing today is the launch of Chapter 12. And normally this stream is 2 days from now,
right?
So we've had time to see how everything's been going.
Right.
But so far this launch has been really great. I mean, we have a couple of small things we're going to address probably on Thursday morning, but so far, especially the chapter itself, has been going really great. So we're excited that it's launched, that you guys get access to it, but I think we're going to talk about that a little more on the next slide.
Yep. All right.
So I guess, Charles,
There we are. Yeah.
Take it away.
Yeah, just super excited that this chapter is out there for our early access subscribers. It'll be available to everyone on Thursday. Like Ben said, just really pleased to see the feedback and excited to hear what everyone thinks about it. It's a really cool, kind of very mystical kind of chapter. It's all about the Force. It's all about exploring your relationship with Valkorion, this evil spirit in your mind, and kind of what his plans are for you, what he sees as your destiny, what other characters might see as your destiny, and how those kind of conflict. And you, as the player, getting to decide which one is the goal you really want to pursue.
So we talked about this before, but my favorite forum thread so far. Do you remember what it was?
Oh, it's called Chapter 12, the best chapter so far, I think.
The best chapter so far.
And one of the interesting things that Charles brought up, because it's one of the pieces of feedback that we've seen a lot so far, is that, as you mentioned, it's a Force-focused chapter in a way, but we've seen a lot of commentary from players about, and again, no spoilers, but even if you're not a Force user, this chapter is very relevant to you as well. Don't be taken aback by the fact that it's Force-focused if you're an Imperial agent or a trooper. You'll still enjoy the chapter.
Yeah, we really try hard to balance the chapters overall in terms of which aspect of Star Wars they're focusing on, right? The last two chapters were very much not focused on the Force. They were on soldiers like Jorgen, troopers, that kind of fantasy. So we really want to kind of hit every element of the Star Wars universe, that fantasy, and let players kind of explore each of them, depending on their particular leanings.
Right.
And remember, if you haven't played it yet, rush home tonight to play the best chapter so far, according to the forums. That's what the forums said.
If you have early access, if not, do it on Thursday.
Yes, yes. Also coming with this chapter is the SWTOR Alliance Recruitment Mission. He's a Deshad. He's really cool, much like Kim Vol, a killer alien monster who really just wants to get out there and murder some face.
So that brings up a question, because I've seen Kim Vol's name about 15 times in chat already, and I know it's come up a lot. So SWTOR, he's a Deshad. Where's Kim Vol? What happened to Kim Vol?
So we have not revealed the fate of Kim Vol yet. It is important, though, to emphasize that SWTOR is not replacing Kim Vol. He's not like a clone. He's not anything like that. He is a Deshad. They have certain elements of their backstory that connect because of that culture and where that species has kind of progressed over the centuries in the backstory of the game. But he is not in any way meant to replace Kim Vol. He's just our chance to kind of let everyone have a chance to have an awesome shadow killer following them around.
There you go, Kim Vol question, people. Kim Vol answer for you.
Awesome.
And then the last thing, just obviously the new Visionary pack is now live in the cartel market. We have a couple of things to show you about that.
Yeah, so first is the Jedi Strategist armor. So this is this the armor set that someone wears in the chapter?
So it's inspired by someone in the chapter, but it's a heavier model set. So, they have a lighter armor, and this is more heavy armor focused.
Yeah, and so one of the things that we wanted to point out, it's one of the things Ben especially really wanted to start focusing and incorporating into the stream is talking about some of the really awesome stuff that community members do.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that's cool, especially with cartel market packs, is if you're ever curious what is in the pack, what some of the armor sets and stuff look like, Tor Fashion and obviously Dolphy are both great resources to actually find out a lot of what those appearances look like and stuff for the pack. So just a shout out to those guys because they both do good work in showing some of the things that are coming in packs.
And just generally to encourage all that stuff, I was watching a video today, and it's actually by someone who are going to show one of their videos later, so I won't spoil that.
Sure.
But in this other video I watched from theirs, it's like, I know that this person will never watch this video, blah, blah, blah. We watch the videos. People who are being called out by name, but we watch all of this stuff, and we think it's a really valuable resource to the community at large. Yep. So if you guys are out there making it, please continue to do so.
Absolutely.
I just saw someone on chat say they're using this set already, and they've got white dye on it. I bet that's pretty cool.
That must look pretty awesome.
Can they link us a screenshot? Can we check it out somehow?
They might not be able to send a link into there, but I will say tweet at us with a link to that so we could take a look at it. Maybe we'll retweet it and share it a bit. Yeah. So that brings us to the great mount debate.
The great debate.
So do you want to explain the mount debate that's going on?
Yeah. So I believe that the new Marsh Hunter Acklay mount is the coolest mount we've seen in the cartel market for a while. Now, Charles and Moscow both disagree with me, and they think the Savage Nexu mount from the previous pack, the Disavowed pack, is the coolest mount we've had in a long time.
Correct.
Now, obviously they're wrong, and there's no way to really argue that. But we thought we could ask you guys to help us settle this bet.
Correct. So there's two things that we want you guys to do. So at the top in the middle, you notice there's a straw poll. Go to that straw poll and you can vote on whether you think the Nexu or the Acklay is cooler. Second, in chat, type the words either Acklay or Nexu, depending on which one you think is cooler. What we're going to do is, one, the poll will decide which one's cooler, which obviously is important for very
some serious violence here in the studio.
For scientific reasons. And two, we're then going to, and this is all on Tate, so you guys can thank Tate for this. Tate is then going to work with someone who has chosen the correct best answer, and we're going to give you
which is the Nexu.
Which will be the Nexu, obviously. We will then give you that mount on the character of your choosing in-game.
So you want to type into chat to win one of the mounts.
Correct. You either want to type Nexu or Acklay, and then also go to the straw poll just so we know for science which one is the coolest. And then Tate will get all that together, and we'll if we remember, we'll announce that later on who won, or if I forget, I'll do it on the forums later. But we will get you the winning mount.
In the wrap-up, we should have worked it out.
Of course.
Hopefully chat can remind us in the wrap-up that we have to announce the winner.
Yeah, don't worry, we won't forget. We'll get you guys. When we're giving away free stuff, we like to give you free stuff. We'll make sure you get your free stuff. Promise.
We also like to make it hard for Tate to work out who the winners are.
Correct.
Because that makes
If you guys haven't noticed, my goal is to make Tate's job as hard as possible.
Yeah.
Also vote for the Nexu. Next slide.
2 against 1 is seemingly more unfair than I thought it was going to be.
You made those odds.
So just some other things that went live today, and we wanted to call them out, even though we've talked about them, and we probably won't go into the details. But the Odessa Proving Grounds is a new Warzone that went live today, and I think we actually left this out of the patch notes originally, but we wanted to make sure that for the first few days this is live, this will be the only Warzone that pops.
Correct.
So right now our plan is to leave that like that until Thursday morning. We'll probably deploy a patch and at the same time change it back so that all the Warzones pop. But
Sure.
if you're really excited to play this new Warzone, the Odessa Proving Grounds, the next 2 nights you have to jump in and it'll pop all the time. So make sure you get in game and check it out. Also, the Rishi Cove Arena of Death is live as well. We also started Season 7, which I didn't put down here. But
So we squeezed that in, by the way. I know a lot of people are like, you didn't announce that ahead of time. Be like, sometimes surprises are good.
yeah, we had talked about it on the live streams. We've been debating back and forth the best way to do that. And at the end of the day, we said, there's a new Warzone coming out. There's a new arena coming out. We absolutely have to start Season 7. So we made sure we got that in for all of you guys as part of a bigger kind of cool PvP update coming along with this chapter. So make sure you guys get in there, play some ranked Warzones, play some unranked Warzones, and check out the new content.
That's right. Also, I did just see, by the way, Tate linked into chat the straw poll, and it also stickies at the top of chat. So if you missed the straw poll link from before, you can click it and still vote.
Cool. And then the last thing, those quality of life improvements. A lot of great stuff for guilds, strongholds, player character names, as well as the instance types of having now PvE or PvP instances, not being restricted to any particular server. You can play how you want in any of the servers.
Yeah, and so one of the questions, I don't know if it actually come up in chat, but I'd seen people asking it ahead of us talking about the stream, was specifically for instances and RP, because we hadn't put an RP instance type. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that, because that's something we talked a lot about internally. The shortest version I can give you is RPing is super important, right? As a Star Wars game, people being able to immerse themselves in that world is very, very important. But having an instance or a server type dedicated to that doesn't necessarily enforce a rule set of you having to RP there. So what we felt was more important was making sure that we can build tool sets for RPers, things like being able to make your own chat channels and work within those chat channels and things like that. So know that it's very important to us that RPers have the tools they need to role play, but we didn't feel that actually separating an instance type just for it was necessarily the right solution. So you're not at all forgotten. We definitely want to make sure that RPers are accounted for in those changes that we made. So
yep, that's great. So let's talk about some subscriber rewards. So as you guys know, if you were subscribed by April 1st, you got the HK55 weapon set, which included the sniper rifle, the blaster pistol, and the vibra-sword. So that all went out now, which is awesome. So you guys will have those rewards, as well as obviously early access to Visions in the Dark. In case you guys don't remember, if you're subscribed by the 1st of every month, you get early access by 2 days to all of the chapters that go live in that month.
Right.
So it's obviously a really beneficial thing to do. And then we wanted to just announce the May subscriber reward. So for everyone who was subscribed by May the 1st, you'll get HK55 inspired ship droid customizations, as well as the early access to Chapter 13, Profit and Plunder.
And I have to say, many of you might be going, HK ship droid customizations? As soon as we press the next button and you see the background of this PowerPoint, there's no world you can't immediately buy into it.
Well, let's
you
do
can't
it.
immediately buy it. Like, look at that.
At long last, you can show your ship droids what they should really be like, who
That's
they really need
right.
to model themselves after.
That's right.
Get out there and make themselves useful for once.
Yeah, and I want to point out that in honor, and I'm not even joking, in honor of this amazing image, I'm actually wearing, if you can see it, the Sith propaganda poster shirt from like 7 years ago in honor of the HK inspired ship droids.
That was good. Some good planning on your part.
I'm just saying. I didn't even know we were going to necessarily show this, but just in case, I needed to plan ahead. So
make sure you guys continue to be subscribed.
Yep.
Sub up by May the 1st to get access to the droid customizations.
Yep.
And then we have May the 4th. So May the 4th is obviously, a big Star Wars day, an event across the industry. And we have some cool things to talk about as well.
Yep.
So first off, as a reward, we're going to have the M4I6 Astromech Droid Mini Pet, which you can see in the background. It's a Zakuulan-inspired Astromech in the colors of the Zakuul Knights.
Yep. And this is a tradition, right? Like, we've been doing Astromech droids every year for May the 4th for, I don't even know how many years now, but we've been doing it every year. So we got to stick with that tradition.
And we're going to do a bunch of stuff that wraps around this, and all the details of this promotion will come out in the next couple of weeks, but some things we're definitely going to do. We're going to bring back double XP, which we haven't done in a long time. So for those of you who want to obtain that legendary status, who maybe haven't so far, can go back and roll those characters you're missing, the class stories you haven't played yet. We'll do a bunch of giveaways and prizes. We haven't worked out all the final details of that. We have some cool ideas we'd like to give out. We're not quite sure what it's going to be, but as soon as we have that information confirmed, we'll make sure we communicate it out to the world.
Correct.
And then you should probably talk about this last one.
Yeah, so we were talking about different things we could do for May the 4th, and I don't know that this is necessarily going to happen on May the 4th, but it will happen in May, and we're going to have more details on exactly what's going to happen. But basically, at some point, probably early in the morning, I'm going to sit down at this desk and start playing Fallen Empire. And I am not going to leave that chair for the day until I've played through all of Fallen Empire that has launched by that point, which will be up,
13 chapters.
Up through 13 chapters. So I'm going to play 13 chapters, and of course we'll make it fun, maybe have some guests, we'll give away some stuff throughout the time, so if you guys want to watch me have fun, it'll be simultaneously awesome because I'm playing Kotfi, and also it's a long time to sit at the desk and play at one time, so I'm going to be tired and just delusional, and it'll be really fun. So
because if you're, talking to the stream, answering questions, doing giveaways, I mean, it could take you
20 hours.
Exactly. At least maybe to get through that.
So it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a good way for you guys to come, hang out, see all of Fallen Empire if you haven't played it before, or you have and you just want to watch me help me decide whether to kill or let people live, or however that ends up happening. So it'll be a marathon stream of me playing all of Fallen Empire.
There's a question in there of how long will double XP last for. Right now we're looking at around about a week, but we haven't finalized the dates for the whole promotion. So as soon as we have that, we'll send it out to everyone. But I think it will start a little bit before May the 4th and then run through to May the 4th and potentially through to May the 5th. Yeah. But we'll give you guys that information as soon as we have it.
Yeah, even like giveaways and prizes. Like we'll have a lot more details on all this stuff. Obviously May the 4th is a big deal for Star Wars, so we're going to have a lot of fun with it as well. So we'll make sure to get you guys all this information as we get closer to May. All right. Next slide.
Right, so an update on the Eternal Championship. So first of all, we never talked about the date outside of the fact that we had to move it.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
But now that it's been on PTS, we've got some feedback. We're really confident in launching this with Chapter 13, which will be 4 weeks from today.
Right.
So that's really exciting. Going to PTS really validated that we're in a pretty good place outside from some small tweaks and adjustments we need to make. Which is cool, but I kind of jumped ahead a little bit. I think, Charles, you want to just remind everyone what the Eternal Championship is all about?
Yeah, so this is basically just a brutal gladiatorial fight on the lower levels of Zakuul's capital city. It's all about going up against the craziest, deadliest gladiators from the whole galaxy, ridiculously overpowered characters going up against you one-on-one, or sometimes 3 or 4 against 1 if they feel like cheating, which is encouraged, as always. Obviously, everyone vying for the title of Eternal Champion. Another really cool aspect of this chapter is it ties into the Alliance recruitment mission that'll be going out alongside it, which is SWTOR, the Wookiee gladiator, who people might remember from the Smuggler storyline.
Yep.
No real surprise there that he might get involved in this. He's been, going down undercover in a way. Like, he's working on Zakuul. He kind of owns a little bar. So he's kind of pretending to be just a regular up-and-up citizen, but really he's trying to help out the fighters in the Eternal Championship, see if he can't smuggle them out, help them the way that the smuggler helped him get out of that life. But of course, there's no way to get out without getting in, and that's going to mean the player and SWTOR are going to have to do a little bit of Eternal Championing themselves.
It's very cool.
So there's a pretty cool reference for some of the original Old Republic fans.
Absolutely.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, though, the whole kind of setup is very reminiscent and meant as an homage to Knights of the Old Republic, to that gladiator arena on Terrace, where players took on the role of the mysterious stranger and fought an arrangement of ridiculous people to earn their title. This is very much inspired by that, and I think it's a really fun throwback, and even zanier in many ways. I think it's going to be a ton of fun when players get in there.
Absolutely.
So one of the questions that we got that we're not going to answer yet, but I want to bring it up, is the question of, well, that explains Eternal Championship, but what companions am I going to get in Chapter 13? Hold on, we'll get there in a second. In 1 second, I promise. And I think you'll be excited because there's some fan favorites coming back.
Yeah.
So PTS itself.
Yeah,
so
talk about it.
Again, like Ben said earlier, we had some problems getting PTS up, which again was actually a good thing, because ultimately that's the goal of the test server, right? Is, this didn't work work and it broke when we threw it against the wall, great. Let's get it fixed before players actually get their hands on it. But since we've put it up, we've gotten a lot of testing and a lot of feedback. I literally read every single feedback post that people had put up on PTS. I sent these guys a wall of feedback that came through. And one of the things that we saw, and I don't know how much specific we want to get, but people want to see more from the rewards that come from Eternal Championship. That's definitely one of the big pieces of feedback that we have.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to talk at all about that.
Yeah, we're actually we're doing some brainstorming this morning of some extra things we could add to the vendors so that, if you want to play the Eternal Championship on an ongoing basis, you can use the tokens you earn from them to buy more stuff beyond the gear sets and stuff that's available. So we're trying to finalize those plans, and I don't want to necessarily give the specifics of it, but the goal is to add some decorations to a bunch of the bosses at a minimum, and then above and beyond that, we're looking at adding some additional things, and we're just trying to clarify the things we think make sense to add to those vendors and don't make sense. So hopefully there's a little bit more in there to keep you guys going. The whole idea of this is between achievements for playing it on every single class, which is how you earn the ultimate title. You have to use every class and complete all 10 bosses. Beyond that, we want to make sure there's great incentives to encourage people to come back and play it on all their characters and as often as they feel like.
Right. And so obviously there's also, aside from just rewards, there's been feedback on the individual encounters and stuff in Eternal Championship. Just know that it's extremely welcomed. Please keep the feedback coming. Our plan is we'll probably put up another update to PTS sometime this week. So you'll see some of those changes reflected. And then Eternal Championship will be on PTS likely for one more week, maybe a little bit more, with maybe one more update coming after that. So again, keep giving us feedback, keep hammering your faces against it and telling us your feedback, because it really does help immensely. So thank you for everyone that's helped us test EC on I keep saying EC and people are like, explosive conflict? Don't know how
Eternal
else to,
Championship.
Yeah, Eternal Championship.
So the next thing we have actually, well, you talk about it because it's a fan-made video.
Yeah, so again, one of the things that Ben really said that we should try to do in these live streams was that was a great idea, is to highlight some of the great work that happens in our community. So we were looking around for some of the videos that people have made about Eternal Championship, and someone who's been around for a long time, especially on YouTube, is Volk. He made a cool video that basically just shows the first cutscene as you get introduced to the Eternal Championship and learn a little bit about it from the person who runs it, the person who created it.
He's sort of. He would say that he created, designed, managed, and everything it, but maybe take that with a grain of salt.
Fair enough. So we're going to go ahead and skip to Volk's video real quick. It's about a minute and 20 seconds. Let you go through that cutscene, and then we'll be back for a few more things, and then we'll wrap this up. So we're going to skip to that video. We'll be back in a minute.
Wonderful. Another one. In answer to your most likely questions, no, I do not sell seats, no, I do not grant autographs, and no, I absolutely will not make a wager with you. How could anyone know about mayhem at the Arena Grande and not its architect? I mean, people today. Me. You talk to me. I am Dominaire. I'm the reason the Arena Grande has ever been, and continues to be, the greatest source of entertainment in all the Eternal Empire. You're awfully eager to die, stranger, unless you truly believe you have the infinite endurance and light-speed reflexes to make it in the arena. Only the most fascinating, frightening, and devastating combatants and creatures from all across the galaxy, a who's who of deadly mayhem, all the way up to the Eternal Champion. Okay, I get it. You're in. What we need now is a name. A name that tells a story. Something to get the crowd excited about you. I've got it. You're an unknown. A nameless wanderer from a faraway place. You will be the mysterious stranger. Wonderful. Then we're in agreement. Fight time's almost here. You're slated to go up against the Master of Killers. If you need to say goodbye to anyone, make it quick and get on in there. That's the spirit. I need this to look like a real fight, so try to stay alive a little while.
All right, and we are back.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because I saw a thing in chat that said we want a Moscow-inspired droid customization.
What would that
and
look
trying
like?
to think
Wouldn't
how
that
that
just
would
be like an
work
Arkin
is
and
kind
Benson
of-
droid?
I guess so. Yeah, that's right. Or it would just be like a droid with gray hair and a soul patch. But I don't know how that would just look odd. I don't know.
So a whole blur video inspired by Moscow wasn't enough.
Yeah, I
We need
guess so.
some
I guess
droid
so.
customs.
Anyway, so thank you, Volk, for making the video. I know Volk has a bunch of other guides and stuff posted on his YouTube channel. We'll link to his channel and the wrap-up on the forum. So thank you, Volk. And again, anyone who makes content, all of you guys who have blogs, podcasts, videos, streamers, please keep this stuff coming. We're going to keep continuing to try to highlight you guys in the future. So you're all awesome. Keep it coming. I think people are excited that Vet's coming back, but I can't.
Yeah, I'm getting the impression.
I'm getting that vibe.
Based on chat?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Do you want to?
Yeah, let's dive right in. So the next chapter coming out, Chapter 13, Profit and Plunder. That's coming May the 3rd, just in time for May the 4th. That's for early access.
Correct.
So this is going to be a whole like heist mission. You're joining up with Galt and Vet, going on this secret clandestine heist to raid the plunder that the Eternal Empire has taken from the entire galaxy. This is your chance to get the kinds of funds and resources that the Alliance needs to fight the Eternal Empire in a serious way, and while landing a blow against them in the process. So it's a great kind of 2-in-1 mission. It's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, it's Vet and Galt, who are both hilarious characters who are a ton of fun. So it's definitely a more humorous chapter, and it's going to be all about just working alongside them and stealing a whole ton of cash. Also, we're going to get, for those of you who have played Chapter 12, you know that some of your characters were left in a precarious position, which I will not go into any detail on. This will also be your chance to uncover what happened there and make some potentially fatal decisions.
Yeah, it's one of I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the things that we see sometimes is, really, where does my choice matter? Show me. There's points that happen where you have to realize that your decisions you've made over time at a certain point come to a head, and the end of 13 is definitely one of those situations.
Yeah. Many of you will have made a choice already that you won't realize has a big impact in Chapter 13. I look forward to hearing what you think when you get there.
So excited.
Yeah, I love this art that they put together for it too. It just really captures kind of the fun, heisty excitement of an adventure raiding the vault of the Eternal Empire. It's just really cool. These are such fun characters.
Very
And
excited.
we're going to see some of them at the end. We have a really cool cinematic that
Yep.
kind of shows off what Charles is talking about. It's mainly got Galt as the main
Yeah.
person in that
Yeah.
cinematic, and he's very interesting.
Yeah, my own personal, but I think this is the most fun chapter we've made.
Yeah,
It is
absolutely.
so much fun to play through. It's just out of control.
Yeah.
All right,
So let's wrap it up.
let's do it. So do we want to hit this before we go any further?
Oh, please do.
Okay, so Tate came in while we were playing the video and delivered to us a pink slip, which I'm not going to show you the other side because I don't want to announce things ahead of time. I feel like you should do the honors based on this information. So this is the results of our straw poll.
So officially,
As
of 4:20 p.m. Central Time
Correct.
in the US, we found out the result of the ultimate controversy, I think, between which mount is the greatest, the
That is true.
Nexu Cat or the Acklay. And, there's not much of a surprise, if I'm honest about it, but the Acklay mount took out as the front runner with 68% of all votes versus 32%.
You guys messed up. You need to understand,
votes.
you can't make Ben right.
That's a dangerous precedent.
That's not a thing you want to do.
It really wasn't a good idea. So that's really exciting. And we have a winner who Tate will be in contact with, who will receive the new Acklay mount that is only just available as of right
Sure.
now.
Sure.
And the winner, if you can believe it, their name is Dinosaurs.
That's right. Which I feel just makes the winning that much better.
Yes.
That their name is Dinosaurs. So, Dinosaurs, if you're out there, Tate will be in touch with you from the official SWTOR account. If you don't hear from us in like an hour, send us a private message to our Twitch account. We'll get your account information and we'll get you your Acklay. Are we also going to do? Are we throw in?
Well, I was just showing Musco my phone. So Dan Bunton, who's our producer for Kato Marca, texted me and he was like, "You're not right. The Nexu mount is actually one of my favorite mounts. So why don't we give a Nexu one out for free as well?" So I don't know how we want to do that. It's kind of
All right.
last minute. Can we just do chat? Like if you type in Nexu right now,
Sure.
you're in the winning to run it, and Tate has to work it out.
Sure.
Is that
sounds great.
Is that fair
Listen,
on Tate? I don't know.
making work for Tate to do sounds like my favorite thing. So type Nexu, the correct best mount, into chat. Just type Nexu, N-E-X-U, and Tate will pull a random winner and we'll give you the Nexu because the Nexu people should win something too.
Yeah.
All right,
And there should be some honor system there. Like if you already voted Ackley, you probably shouldn't do Nexu, but we're not going to check it.
You're all going to anyway.
We're counting on you all to be just as honest as Galt would be in this situation.
That's right. That's right.
All right, so let's get through the wrap-up. So, the big thing to talk about, obviously, 4 weeks from now, Profit and Plunder is coming out. Early access is on May 3rd. Full access is on May 5th. It includes the Eternal Championship, which is a really exciting thing that allows people to test their skills against some of the deadliest opponents in Zakul history.
Yep.
We have the Bodar recruitment mission, the May the 4th promotions, which we have a lot more information to share with all of you, and we'll be doing that shortly.
When it gets closer, yep. And then, of course, forum wrap-up as always. The stream's only 30 minutes, which we're at 1 minute over, but that's fine. So we'll post a wrap-up of everything we talked about. Any questions you guys have about anything else that we didn't cover, please throw in the forum wrap-up, and I'll spend the next few days kind of going through the thread, answering any questions that I can. Spam Nexu there if you want, or that's fine. So feel free to go back into the wrap-up. Again, if you missed anything, if you came in late, we'll tell you everything that was covered there. We'll link to Volk's, things like Volk's YouTube channel, etc. But yeah, so we'll post the rest of the questions there.
And now we're going to leave you with one small part of one of the cinematics from the next chapter.
Correct.
No need.
Do you want to set it up at all, or is there?
It's just, we're getting ready for the heist, putting together a few small items that we might need to carry
essentials.
it out. And yeah, it's no spoilers for Chapter 12. Just watch it and enjoy. Yeah.
Cool. And with that, I think we'll sign off. So thank you very
Thank you
much for joining in once
really
again, and
appreciate
we'll
it,
see you
everybody.
next month.
Yep. All right, so I'm going to hide our faces, and then I'll switch to the video. So give me 3 seconds, and you'll be watching a video. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care.
You got our money? About that. I was really thinking we should renegotiate the price. Seeing as I don't need the whole missile. Yeah, I thought you might feel that way.
Transfer initiated.